This is Coffee Break with Ninita, a daily guide of coping skills that gets us through by making us strong. This week we are going to talk about challenges, but we are going to approach them from a different angle. Usually when we talk about challenges, we think of situations that are not easy, that we see them as requiring skill to be overcome. And as we look at the challenges, very often we value the abilities of overcoming the challenges. We value the abilities that help us when we have them, if we have them, to get us over the challenge into a place of glorification. This is how we say, even though it was a challenging situation, he made it, or she made it, or I made it. Well, this is one way of looking at challenges and our abilities and capabilities. But we are going to approach it in a different way. We are going to look at challenges as situations where we try hard to overcome, and in the end, we fall. We are unable to succeed. We realize that the particular challenge is too much to handle, too much to overcome, too much to endure. So the story is not written the same way like we usually like to read it in superhero stories. The story goes with reaching a point where I find I cannot make it anymore. I cannot endure it. I cannot handle it. And I stop. And as I stop, I experience the disappointment, feelings that don't necessarily feel good. And then what? This is what we are going to focus on this week. We are going to focus on such situations where instead of, despite how difficult the situation is, we are able to overcome it and get on the other side with victory. Instead of that, this week we are going to see ourselves as, despite our attempts and our efforts to overcome it, in the end, not being able to do so. But wait, not so fast. Even though I said in the end, I clearly don't mean that this is the end of what we are going to see this week. That very same end that brings humility, that brings that kind of very, very sad feeling of failing, of falling, of not reaching the desired result and outcome. That very same end, if we choose just to endure that disappointment and not to try to use tricks or use anger or use depression, but instead to stop and reevaluate where we are today, where we were when we started approaching the challenge, and what can we do at this very place that feels like the end, if we follow the steps we're going to talk about on Wednesday, we are going to see that a new beginning starts. A new chapter starts. That even though in the moment it doesn't feel show, it doesn't look like it is an opportunity, it indeed becomes an opportunity. You heard me correctly. I did not make a mistake. It is when we reach that very, very low, humble point of feeling powerless, feeling there is no hope. It is the very same point that if we regroup, if we take the steps we're going to bring up on Wednesday, we are in front of an opportunity that the sky's the limit of where and how that opportunity or opportunities will impact our lives, will open new horizons. This is where I want us, this is my plan for us to take on this trip that our podcast is going to take us through facing a challenge, the kind of challenge that we find we are beat, we failed, we are falling, we feel powerless, we lost, and after we feel all of the above, if we take the following steps, we will be able to come through to a situation that we never imagined before we were able to. And the only way how that situation presents itself as an opportunity, it is exactly because we genuinely tried everything, but the challenge we faced was too big for us. That is the requirement for the next opportunity to rise. We will talk again on Wednesday. Until then, think about what we talked about today.
We thank you for listening to Coffee Break with Ninita. Our goal is to help our StayWHOLE community work through their challenges. Please join this cause by supporting us on Patreon. You can do that for the price of just 1 cup of coffee per month. Just click on the Patreon link in the podcast description below, or simply visit us at www.patreon.com/StayWHOLE. We appreciate you and hope we can help you stay whole.